Hi, I'm Satyendra, and today we're going to see what is body paragraph or what are body paragraphs, and these are the part of writing module. Earlier we have discussed introduction, which is the first part of your three-part essay. The essay has three parts. Number one, introduction, then we have body paragraph, and finally conclusion. Today we're going to go through the body paragraph. Now, what is the meaning of body paragraphs and what happens in that? Let me just describe here. In your body paragraph, you're going to provide the reasons for your agreement or disagreement, or you're going to expand your topic, provide your concepts. Remember one thing, never write more than one concept in one paragraph. This is the biggest mistake people make. I have shown you this in earlier videos as well when I'm talking about essays and paragraphs. I'm repeating this because it is really important. So, one concept, one paragraph equal to the perfect mixture. For an example, I'm writing an essay about this room. Let's say this is a classroom. And I want to write an essay on the classroom. So I shouldn't start talking about its characteristics. What I should start with, in fact, is I should group the classroom into various categories. So first one would be the electronic in the room. Second one would be the furniture in the room. Third one would be, let's say, the human element, the students and the teachers, whatever it is. And the fourth one could be anything. But what I mean is here, in electronic, I could talk about the board, the electric board, or I could talk about the fan or the AC or the computer itself. In the furniture part, I could talk about the chairs, the table, the bulletin board itself. And the last human element, I can talk about the teacher and the students. You see how grouping has created a common topic. So you get my point. I cannot mix up the furniture part in electronics or human part in the electronic, or vice versa. Hence, one concept per paragraph is must. If you're writing an essay for IELTS or anything, literally any exam, TOEFL, PTE, GRE, or any exam, or without even exam, if you have a competition for essays, this concept works all the time. If you have a good magazine, reputed magazine, if you read it, you will find there is single concept in a single paragraph. They don't exceed. They explain that properly in single paragraph. This is important, all right? Keep it in mind. Now, I think you have understood power method earlier. If you haven't, please go back to the video of the structure of writing and the power method video in which we discuss what is power, that is planning, organizing, writing, evaluating, and revising. These are the rules which will help you to create the structure of your essay. You will get the points, what to write in the body paragraphs, plus the rule of paragraphs. Remember the rule, one single concept in one paragraph, right? So the two things, the power method plus one single concept in one paragraph, these together combine and form a properly structured in body paragraph which we should write in IELTS. Okay, now let's talk about the structure itself. What is the meaning of structure in body paragraph? And first of all, before we even proceed with structure, why do we need structure? See, if you are an avid writer, that means a person who writes blog and who writes book, they won't have trouble with that. But the person who has not written for years, what happens is they don't know what the structure is, or they can start with something interesting but could end the body paragraph with something horrible, or let's say something not desirable. Hence, there should be a template that should always be there in their mind, which could behave as a structure, where we describe what will be the first sentence of your body paragraph, what could be the second sentence. Same goes for third and finally fourth. There are 4 different sentences. You got my point. What is the structure and what is the importance? This will keep you binded that we have to write this part in first sentence, this part in the second sentence. Clear? Let me show you how it looks. So we have part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. But these parts are sentences. Right. And overall, this will look like a paragraph. This could be called a body paragraph. So don't consider this as separate sentences. These are the sentences of your paragraph. But I have created a template, hence I'm forming boxes for your own benefit. Sentence 1, sentence 2, 3, 4 are the parts of paragraphs. Remember. Okay, let's get to the topic sentence itself. You know what happens in the topic sentence, which is the first part of your structure. I mean to say the whole template. This is your first sentence always of your body paragraph. We are discussing body paragraph, remember that. And the first statement or first sentence in your body paragraph is the topic sentence. But what is the meaning of this topic sentence? What comprises in this topic sentence? Let's see an example. This we have seen in introduction as well, the same question, and I'm going to continue with it so that you have a connecting chain. A person's worth nowadays seems to be judged according to the social status and material possessions. Old-fashioned values such as honor, kindness, and trust no longer seem important. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this opinion is your question. This is, I think you know from the previous video, it's general information. No need to worry for that now. We have to write at least 250 words. This is general. Our introduction is already finished. We have already done the power method. Let's say what points you will provide. Let's start with the point that we do agree to this statement, right? That means we know this question, and I mean we know the point, and we say I agree with this statement. Nowadays people are not focusing on values such as this. But what are my agreements? Why do I agree? I mean, what are my points for agreement? This is the reason which I have to explain in my body paragraphs. So paragraph 1 could be one explanation, one reason for my agreement. Paragraph 2 could be one reason. But today we're going to see each sentence of these body paragraphs. So I'm talking about the first sentence of this single reason. Got it? Again, the question, you can read it again if you wish. We already did read it. So let's see the first sentence of this body paragraph. Let me eliminate the useless information and talk about other side. I disagree. Okay. Media makes it look like what everyone wants is materials and online profiles. But the truth is totally opposite. You see, this is called the topic sentence or the para heading. You can call it para heading or the topic statement. What is the meaning of this topic statement? I'll tell you. What happens is, if you read the first sentence of your body paragraph, you should be able to guess what I mean by the whole paragraph. My main point, or what I mean by this whole paragraph, is the media is the culprit of making it look bad. That make it look like everyone just want material, everyone is materialistic, everyone just want online profiles. Clear? First statement of your body paragraph should indicate what will be there in your body itself. I hope I'm clear about that. That's why I said this is the first statement of your body paragraph. That media makes it look like what everyone wants is materials and online profiles, but truth is totally opposite. Right. Second part is explanation. So this was the first one which we have seen earlier. Second is explanation, which we have to understand now. What are we explaining, by the way? Do you remember what we wrote in the topic sentence? Why? What are the reasons for us to disagree? First reason is mentioned as topic statement. Now we're going to explain the same thing in our sentence, right? The same point which we have mentioned earlier. So same question we have mentioned, and this is our first statement. For your reference, this is our first statement, which is our topic statement. Now, if you want to expand it, the next statement, which is explanation, which we are explaining here, most people see what the media shows them. As a consequence, people feel qualities such as honor, being humble, etc. aren't as important as they used to be. Hence, you understand what I'm trying to say here. That my statement is I disagree for sure. I disagree with this point. My first point for disagreeing is this. This is the first part of first sentence of my body paragraph 1. This is my body paragraph 1. First sentence is this one here. Second sentence would be after this. That is, most people see that the media shows them. It's the explanation of basically the topic sentence. You don't have to create something new. You just have to explain why do you think this is the reason, your first reason to disagree. Got it clear? Good. Now this third one is example. See, we have seen two: first sentence, second sentence of your body paragraph, and the last one, third one, which is example. Remember, examples are the pillar of the concept. If I have mentioned a concept and I couldn't explain the concept, that's just horrible, because I took it because I knew it, right? With example, it will be concrete that, oh, I can explain now better. You can relate to the thing that happened. Examples are easier. So far, I've been teaching with examples if possible. It would be easier for you to understand with examples. Like for an example here itself. So we're going to see example of example. Going to a lake at late night is not safe. Now you'd say, oh really, tell me about it. And I'm going to tell you about more, and then I'll give examples. See, this is what happened to my friend. He lost something and whatever. So example made it concrete, right? Same here with the same question. We have the first statement, that is topic statement. Then we explain the topic statement, which we have seen in first and second part of a body paragraph. The third sentence is this one, which is an example. My friend thinks if he has more friends on his social media profile, he will be considered social. Sad part is he thinks because of an article he reads online. So that means he found this online and he thinks that he will be really a social person because he has more friends online. You got it? An example that is shown according to the situation will make the point more desirable and concrete. Okay. Now, there are three types of examples possible. Number one, your experience. What I mean by your experience is what happened in your life, something that clicked you. Like, for example, oh, that happened to me, that I went to some media and I understood it, that, understood that most important part is our social media profile. But eventually I understood that they were all lies. Later I come to know the truth. Your experience is the first type of example, which is, I think, common because you can lie about it, right? Second one is known experience. The kind of example I gave earlier is known experience, right? You talk about a friend, a family member, or your partner, or anyone. You can create a virtual friend as well and talk about their experience, that they found this and this is what happened. If you don't want any of this, if you know some kind of general knowledge or general information, you can use that as well. See, this is much better, but the problem with general knowledge is you have to be correct. You cannot create statistic out of the sky, out of the blue. You cannot create it. You have to know the statistic and then provide it. So three kinds of examples that you can provide. That is the third sentence of your body paragraph. Could be your experience, your known experience that from your family or friend, and finally general knowledge, which has to be correct. Other two don't need to be correct. It could be virtual. It could be created. Okay, good. Now the last part of a body paragraph is conclusion. Remember, I'm not concluding the whole essay. I'm concluding only the paragraph. That means the reason why I think about the agreement or disagreement or whatever it is. So this is the last part, the conclusion only of the paragraph, not the whole essay. So we have seen the first one here, topic sentence. I think by repeating this many times, you must be remembering this, right? And the last part, a second last part, was the example. And finally, we have conclusion, which is the fourth part. All right. What happens in conclusion is we have seen all this, the first part, second part, third part as an example. Now there's not much space. Let me just get rid of this and make some space here. And now we have the last part written in a way to show whatever I've shown you here, it can be concluded in a single sentence for you to revise. So last sentence could be, in a nutshell, it's not an individual's perspective on values, but the media's forced and faulty influence. Okay, this is conclusion that you can add in the end and it will become a whole body paragraph. 4 different sentences or 5, because in explanation you can add more like we did here. First sentence and second sentence, these 2 sentences are part of your explanation. This is an example, the one which I'm marking here. This is an example. And finally we have conclusion. So together they form a perfect body paragraph. Yeah. Now this is the whole, how it looks like, the whole body paragraph, starting with media's fault on this. Then we talk about how it is media's fault, what people think, an example about my friend, right? And finally a conclusion about what we think about this whole point, what really happens. So 4 of the things, without them there's no possible way that you can have an amazing body paragraph. In fact, it's easier, you know, if you remember a template, all you have to do is that you can add your words based on the topic. Remember the structure, add your own words based on the topic. It's just replacement, nothing creating new. So it could get easier for you. You don't have to think in the middle, what should I write here, what should I write there? Okay, good. Now there's one more thing that you should also know. See, when we are writing body paragraphs, earlier we have discussed a single body paragraph. All the body paragraphs will be written in the same way or the same structure. But these body paragraphs have to have a connectivity, which is called cohesion. We described cohesion when we were describing what are your criteria of writing. So this is how your whole essay structure looks like. Introduction, then we have body paragraph 1, 2, 3, as many you want, and finally conclusion. Right, but for now we are discussing only body paragraph, hence we keep them here, remove introduction, conclusion. Now see this structure we are talking about. How are you going to connect them? That is cohesion, we said this earlier. For that we have 3 different kinds of connectors, right? We have types of connectors as well. I think you understand what is the meaning of connector. We have body paragraph 1, 2, 3. If I read suddenly the body paragraph, the middle one, I should be knowing what could be in the previous one. Or if I'm reading the first one, I should be knowing what is in the next one. Clear? Now look at the 3 types. The first type is list of 2 ideas. What is the meaning of this type? What is the meaning of this list of 2 ideas? Let's say I have a body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2. That means I explain 2 different points. The same question which we have, that people don't believe in honor and stuff. So I have first reason as it's the reason because of media, and we have because of friends' influence. Okay, not just media, friends also influence this, otherwise it not true. It is not true. I disagree. Hence, these 2 ideas are connected to each other using a list of 2 ideas which are similar. When we have 2 ideas which are on the same point, right, they come in this category. In this case, what we generally do is we have to understand one thing. Then we have to connect them using the word moreover. That means we are extending our idea. Clear what I mean by that? Let me explain again. So I'll start my first paragraph, whatever the way it is, normal structure, everything, the 4 sentences. When I start my next paragraph in this kind of point, when we have 2 ideas only, I'll start the next paragraph, first sentence with moreover. What is this moreover? Moreover says that, oh, we have discussed something earlier, so now we are adding to it. Instead of moreover, if you want, you can add in addition to. That means what we have discussed earlier, in addition to that, I'm saying something more. You got my point? When we have two ideas, we can connect the ideas using this. Now see, if a person suddenly reads the second body paragraph, they would say, oh, I see, in addition to that means there must be something else above very similar to this. This is how we connect body paragraphs when we have two ideas of same type. Clear? Good. Second one is when we have list of more than two ideas. All right, in that case, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start our first body paragraph with firstly, because it's a list, right, of more than two items. And then we're gonna start our next body paragraph with secondly. I mean, the first word will be secondly and then our topic statement. Same way here, first paragraph firstly and then our topic statement. If we have more than this paragraph, like let's say we have 4 paragraphs, we will say thirdly, and always the last paragraph in the list would be considered finally. Or you could say, an example, lastly. Right. So the first body paragraph would start with firstly, second would start with secondly, and the last one will start with finally or lastly. I'm not saying here that you'll always have 3 body paragraphs. You can have 4, but in that case you will start with firstly, secondly, thirdly, and finally. Okay. Why can't we use this method in case when we have just 2 ideas? Look, we can never say firstly and lastly. Can we? No, it looks absurd. Right, isn't it? So we cannot do that. And always remember, when you're writing firstly, always put a comma. Secondly, always put a comma and then start your statement. Same goes with your moreover, however, all of them, you should have a comma. So this is the way it is. If you don't understand the punctuations, please go through the grammar series which we have created. You'll understand it. Okay, good. Now the third one is, like we said, we have 3 different ideas. Contradicting ideas. What is the meaning of contradicting ideas? So earlier we said there are similar ideas in a list. It could be 2 or more than two ideas. But what if we have contradicting ideas? So this one, first one, contradicts with this one. So I say this paragraph talks about the advantages of something. However, this one talks about the disadvantages of this. You understand what I mean by that? In this case, you are supposed to use something else rather than moreover and all those stuff. You should use words like however, or you should something like apart from that. No, apart from that is used for something else. On the other side. Right, so this is like showing your perspective on the other side. That means you have one side and you have the other side. Hence your first paragraph, that is body 1 paragraph, in the case when 2 paragraphs are contradicting to each other, first one will start without any opening, without any first word and a comma. It will start with your topic sentence. Second body paragraph will start with any of these, either however, or on the other side, or in contrast. It could be one example, in contrast. That means we have said something earlier, now we are contrasting our point. Clear? This could be a possibility. Now let me just give you a complex idea. What if these 2 ideas are together, however this one is opposite? It's simple. We start the first paragraph without any beginning. We start the second one with moreover because we are adding to the previous one. And finally, this is contradicting both. So we can start with however here or on the other side. I hope I'm clear about this. When we have this complex structure where the first one and second one are similar ideas, however, the third one is contradicting idea, in that case, it's fine to add these things. I hope I'm clear about this and what I mean by contradicting ideas and similar ideas and stuff. Okay, and this is how we end the body paragraph part of an essay. I understand there's so much to understand in this essay or this part of the essay. You can watch it again, you can take notes and try to write something so that you can see how similar it is. Try to remember the structure, try to have the 4 parts which we have discussed in the essay, in the body paragraph structure, and use them in your essays. These are not for fancy or theory, these are for your essays to get simpler and elegant. Okay, for now, I hope you have a good time. I'll see you later. Bye bye.